Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday, December 7th. This is the last morning due for certified doers before we jump into the top of the year. I'm super excited to be here. The morning due for certified doers, just like you over here. I'm Jackie Glass, Mama Navy vet, certified doer and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 89th District. Come January, you'll be the 93rd District. Super proud, super honored to serve. So let's already get in it. Good morning, Mr. Little. Super glad to see you here today. Okay, glad to see y'all. Knowing this is the last due. This is the last morning due before the top of the year. So I'm going to encourage you already. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, drop them in the chat now so that I can get to them. Because my email and those other things are going to be the best way to get a hold of me after this. Good morning, Derek. I appreciate you. I know you see your photo everywhere. it's almost time for some more of them bad boys too. So grateful. All right. Here's what I want to do. First, I'm going to give you guys a couple dates that I need you to put on your calendar. You ready for this? There's some dates that you need to put on your calendar because we got stuff and things. Saturday, January 6th. You ready? Saturday, January 6th at 1 p.m. We are having an all-city pep rally. Like, I don't care where you live, okay? I don't care what you're doing. I want your face in the place. I know you can close your eyes and think back to high school when y'all had the pep rally and it was the seniors versus the juniors versus the freshmen versus the sophomore, all of that, and everybody thought they were the best class or whatever. We're doing an all-city pep rally. It's going to be at AIM on Little Creek Road in Norfolk, Virginia. AIM, the Aviation Institute of Maintenance, in their gym. We're doing it just like y'all did it in high school. Saturday, January 6th. I just want all the people there. Like, we just want to have all the people there. The goal is to, one, we're going to get you hyped up about this thing that we call session, get you in the know on how you can stay up to be on all the things. We're going to have some competitions. It's going to be dope. It's going to be amazing. So I just want you there. I just said I want to do something with all the peoples, and we're going to do that. So Saturday, January 6th is a huge date. Also for you creatives, remember the creative economy, creative entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter whether you're a photographer or you're a baker or you build apps or you cook, whatever it is. January 23rd. That is a Tuesday. That's a Tuesday. January 23rd is Creatives on the Capitol Day. This is going to be our annual thing, man. We will be at the Capitol lobbying for the creative economy so that people that are in creative industries, one, are treated as if they should have a livelihood here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm going to teach you how to lobby when you come up there, and then I'm going to send you off to lobby. Then we're going to come back together in the Capitol Square. We're going to rah. We're going to see the Capitol, and then we're going to go from there. So creative, if you know any creative entrepreneurs, anybody like that, that is their opportunity. January 23rd. We want them to come up to the Capitol. Stay tuned. Be on our, make sure you're on our, you subscribe to our updates and that you are on our social so that you can get the updates of what happens, right? So pep rally, Creatives on the Capitol. Lastly, March 6th. Block it down. March 6th. March 6th is going to be Certified Doers Day. March 6th is going to be Certified Doers Day at the Capitol. That day is a day that if you are passionate about a thing, maybe you come on here every morning and we kick it. Maybe that's your thing. We want our doers to come up to the Capitol in Richmond and really see what it's like up there. We want you to lobby. We want you to be more participatory. This process is yours, right? And the only way that we get more people to be accountable is with doers like you. So that is March 6th. Put that on the calendar. January 6th, March 6th, January 23rd. All of this stuff will be on our calendar as well. So if you got access to our Facebook, then there'll be Facebook events. I believe we might be doing an Eventbrite. I can't quite remember, but but it's out there. It's here for you. We want you to be here. Again, I'm going to say this, drop it in the comments right now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the process, about anything that's going on or what's coming up. And I'll try to get the answers to those before we leave here today. Okay. All right. So those are the important dates to put on your mind. I do also want to sort of actually on here, I'll go through, I should have went through them while we were doing it, but what I do want to take the opportunity today is help you guys understand this other really important thing about the legislative process. But like I said, what I do want you to do is if you got events, I'm saying this again, if you got events, if you got questions, you got comments that you want to throw in the chat, go ahead and throw it out there now. Shout out to Cardinal Skate Shop. Hey, y'all know what that's at on Granby. Love them. And tonight, you guys are going to be at the Mocha, right? Right. I think you'll be at the Mocha tonight for the collection bazaar. So thank you for the good work that you all are making spaces. And that's the thing is we got to do a better job at celebrating businesses that want to create community spaces. Cardinal Skate Shop has been a place where just people can come with their passion of skateboarding, right? Or if you like, I always wanted to learn how to do that. I wanted to learn how to be a part of that. You can go to Cardinal, they skate in the back, but they want to create community spaces. And it would be who of us, and you know how Doers do, right? It would be who of us to find these community members that want to make our community a better place and do two things, right? One, you go patronize their place of business. Two, you be extremely supportive. So like, if you like, I would really love it if, skateboarding is not something I've seen in my community, but I would love for there to be a place for my kid to go and learn from the sun. That's the thing. That's the place and space. But also I just like sweatshirts and I like that they have sneakers. So that's why I go. All right, so let me get into this. All right, so another part of the legislative process that is super important for you all to know. I am on Monday, I had to make sure that I had what are called my request for committee assignments, right? So that means that I had to tell the Speaker of the House, the Speaker designee, excuse me, I had to tell him what committees I wanted to be assigned to. Why is this important? One, it's important because when we talk about committees, right, when we talk about the committees in the House, when we're trying to get like good legislation done up in Richmond, right, when the goal is to get good legislation done or something that matters to you, if it doesn't make it out of a subcommittee, it never makes it there. So when I get a bunch of people talking about over the past 2 years, like where the marijuana laws at, like really getting at my throat, I'm like, all right, let's look at these bills. All right, let's look at these bills. Where the codification of same-sex marriage, of reproductive rights, that stuff never made it out of committee, which means we never voted for it on the floor, which means that it's super important that we help and when we win elections with value aligned people. But secondly, that if you are passionate about something or something's really important to you, that you know where it is going to be in committee, because that's when you have to first support it. Right. So I'm going to run down for you all the types of committees that we have in the House so that you understand. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the committees that I'm interested in, or I'll tell you about one committee that I'm really interested in and why. And that's kind of how we do our logic here. So we have a committee called Agriculture, Chesapeake, and Natural Resources. So that committee, that committee assignment is about the ag businesses, about the Chesapeake Bay and any other natural resources that we may have in the Commonwealth, right? Like it's a pretty freaking important committee to know about. So if you're interested in, bills that have to do with, I'm trying to think of some stuff. The types of bills that come out of agriculture. I'm actually going to the website right now. So if y'all could see me, you would see that I'm going to the website right now so that I can see all the bills. The types of bills that came out of the agricultural committee or that were referred there were about landfills, about air pollution, about cats and dogs and fires and tobaccos and fishing and mineral mining, stormwater, oyster planting, right? Even think historic resources. So talking about the green book, right? Um, all of that above, right? All of the above, all of that is state parks, all of that is agriculture. So if that's something, if your passion is for state parks, cemeteries, dogs, cats, ag, whatever that is, that sort of stuff sits in that committee, right? So you would be interested in two things: who's on that committee, and how they're voting, and the types of things that they're seeing. That's agriculture, Chesapeake, and natural resources. Then going in alphabetical order for you all. The second committee that we have is called appropriations, and I'll need y'all to say that, appropriations. And so this committee is important. If you are most concerned, if one of your major concerns is what are we doing with our money? Like, what are we doing with the money in the Commonwealth? How are we allocating it? Where is it going? How is it going? The Appropriations Committee is one that you want to keep your eye on. Now, where I am looking at this right now is at lis.virginia.gov. So I'm saying that again, lis.virginia.gov, which is legislative information system.virginia.gov, lis.virginia.gov. And I'm looking at all of the committees, right? And I'm seeing in appropriation, the budget is in appropriations, things about workmen's compensation, things about how we're going to do tax credits, how we're going to fund, or how we fund problem gaming, right? If we fund it in this particular committee, everything from restitution payment to people who were wrongfully incarcerated to how we fund Medicaid fraud control, like all the things in between. The entire budget is in appropriation. So remember that word. Don't just think budget, think appropriation. That's one of the most powerful committees in the General Assembly, because if I have a bill that was in, say, the committee we talked about before is in agriculture, if I have a bill in ag and it's going to cost the state money to execute this bill, not only do I have to go to agriculture, Chesapeake Natural Resources, I also have to go to appropriation. So anybody that's asking for any money allocated from the state budget has to go through appropriations. Does that make sense? That makes sense to you guys? All right, then we have Commerce and Energy. Commerce and Energy is a committee that deals with, commerce and energy. Commerce and energy. So anything from the Virginia Clean Economy Act to telephone solicitation, railroad safety, workplace violence, prescription drug affordability, all those sorts of things go into commerce and energy. So that's a good place if those are things that you're interested in, public health insurance, things like that. That committee, commerce and energy. And again, I'm looking at these committees and these things on lis.virginia.gov. Secondly, we have what is called Communication, Information, and Technology. Now, I know, or CTI, Communication, Technology, and Innovation. I know y'all remember when we had the TikTok bills and it got real, like what, like TikTok, all that. So that committee gets referred all of that information about data, about information technology, all of those sorts of things. And I'll roll through. Then you have counties, cities, and towns. What we fail to forget sometimes is that we are a Dillon Rule state, and I have to keep saying this to people. That means that your county, your city, your town can't do much of anything unless the state gives them the power to do it. This committee is where you'll see a lot of the bills that have to do with zoning, land use, vacant buildings, local government ability to do things. You'll see specific things about cities, about building comprehensive plans, annexation, all of that is in counties, cities, and town. County, cities, and towns. Then we have courts of justice, which is all of your judicial bills dealing with like how the law is, or I'm trying to make sure I think about bail, judge, trespassing, fentanyl, law enforcement bills, all of that goes through courts of justice. So typically many of the lawyers are on courts of justice, just sort of figuring that part out. And then you have education, which has all your education bills, finance, which is a little bit different from is a little bit different from appropriation. Finance, I think, is kind of like they hear more of tax law than anything. Much of what comes out of finance goes over to appropriation, some way, shape, or form. Some way, shape, or form. Then we have general laws, which is just what it says, general laws. A lot of your tenant, if you're into housing or tenant law, general laws committee is the one that you want to be with. They do bills on gaming and let's think, all of that gaming. I'm trying to think of some other types of stuff, real estate, small business, all of that, right? So there's that piece. There's that piece of general laws. If you're kind of a utility person, you're like, I just want to know a lot about a lot of stuff, then general laws is the place for you. Health, welfare, and institutions. If you're into laws that have to deal with, mental illness, midwifery, right? Or anything that has to do with health, welfare institution, or the state plan. That one bill that was there was the state plan for medical assistance or long-term care support, optometry, all of those things. Health are under, they call it HWI, which is health, welfare, and institutions. We have 4 more committees in the House. The next one is privileges and elections. Privilege and election, all of the election laws. So if you've gotten interested in election laws over the past years or a couple of years or so, privileges and elections is the place where everything from the appointment of judges to or appointment of people on boards, commissions, and authorities, or to the cabinet, constitutional law, all of those things are in privileges and election. That is a historic committee. And shout out to Delegate Marcia Price, who will now be the chair of privileges and elections. I think she might be the first Black woman to do that. But she'll be chairing privileges and election. And that's all of that. All of that and everything in between privilege and election. So if you're into privilege and election law, remember I said these committees are important, because if you're interested in a bill and if you haven't been thinking about where it's going to sit before it gets to the big vote, you're missing out, because if it doesn't make it out of the committee, it doesn't make it to the floor, and we don't vote. I never will vote on it. Second to or third to lastly, we have what is called the Public Safety Committee. On the Public Safety Committee, all that stuff you guys hear about, guns, about court duties and everything in between, about waiting periods for firearms, about assault weapons, about policing, public safety gets all of those bills, right? This Public Safety Committee, when we get up there, I'm actually going to teach you all how to find when the committee is meeting and how you can watch live the back and forth on committee, or you can find out when a specific bill you're interested is on the calendar and get it to ping you so that you can make sure you watch it or go back and watch and see what happens. Because when you start understanding, how this stuff is done, you become dangerous. You do. You get real dangerous. And people going to be like, wait a minute, how they know that? How she know that? How he know that? Because you were paying attention, and it allows for better accountability for all of us, right? So that piece, right? That part, public safety is a committee. And then I think I have 2 more for you guys. Okay, 2 more committees. So we have rules. Now, everyone says that the rule committee is the committee where things go to die. I'm doing my Thursday morning live, and my nephew, I believe, has called me. I'm doing it. Hey, I'm going to teach people about committees. So I'm talking about the rules committee right now. The rules committee is where people, where it's led by the speaker. So it's any committee that, or any bill that the speaker deems can come in front of them. So like, amendments to other subcommittee joint rules, conducts and standards, all of the study bills pretty much go to rules. So that's a place where, like, if you're like, I know that we put in for a particular study and then they didn't come to a conclusion, they gave it to the speaker. A lot of stuff I hate to say this, but a lot of stuff in the rules, that's where they kill it. Sorry. I'm just going to be real with you. And then the last committee is transportation, which is self-explanatory, right? Okay, self-explanatory. Transportation is really self-explanatory. So in the transportation committee, you're going to hear all of the bills about like towing stuff, school buses, about highways, pedestrian safety, the ridership incentive programs, everything in between, bicycles, all that. That committee is the transportation, does all of that. And so why is this important to you? Why is it important that I'm teaching you about the committees today? I'm going to say this for the 1,000th time because it is important. A lot of times I get people in the community that come to me and say, what y'all doing about this? Or what kind of, okay, I hear you. I love that you care very loudly, but I want to know what piece of that you're super interested in. So when you say, I'm worried about gun safety. Okay, what aspect of gun safety do you care most about? Okay, is it storage? Is it assault weapon ban? All right, so then I'm going to tell you the committee you need to be paying attention to from January to March is public safety. Not only that, don't just pay attention to public safety. I want you to break it down and I want you to go to the subcommittee 2, and I'm making that up. Subcommittee 2 takes all of the gun laws and they deal with it that way. So you need to be paying attention. And if you've got an issue, right? If you got a serious issue and you want people to vote a certain way, make it a great day. Set your intentions. See you, dear. If you want people to vote a certain way, when you go to LIS, Legislative Information System.virginia.gov, when you go there, at the very top of the page, it's going to have every single person that's on that committee. You, as a person of the Commonwealth, have every right to reach out to that person and encourage them to vote in the right way. Because remember, if it doesn't make it out of subcommittee, it doesn't make it to committee, and it never makes it to the floor where somebody like me can vote on it. So I can say, yeah, we put in like 16 bills, but I never voted on one of them because they never made it to the floor. And that's where we need y'all. That's where we need y'all to put we talking about that subcommittee pressure. Pressure. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so did I mess up? Okay, so Derek, I appreciate it. Hopefully this is good stuff. I need y'all to be. The most dangerous thing we can do is have educated folk that understand the process. So like this is always the goal. So thank you for that. Thank you for this. I appreciate you being here because you all taking the time to be here is it's super important to me. And even having my nephew here. Say hey, nephew. Say hey. We're all going to learn together today, right? We're learning good stuff today. But that's it. I wanted to make sure that before we went back up there that each of you understood that piece, because when I come back, right, I'm taking a break. I won't be doing any lives until the top of the year. So in this time that you have, I wanted you to really take time. Go to LIS. Go to lis.virginia.gov, explore a little, start looking, deep diving into. What I will say though is you're going to probably see 2024 session is going to be up there. On the right hand side, you can go to other sessions. So 2024, you're not going to see a lot of bills there. But I will tell you that the legislation that has been introduced, minimum wage is a top priority, the increase of minimum wage. So minimum wage, we're trying to move minimum wage up to $13.50 on that timeline of getting it up to, we're on that timeline of getting it up to $15. There's an assault weapons bill. There is we have a bill that we're going to codify. We have a bill where we are trying to get it into our Constitution, the automatic restoration of rights and reproductive rights, right? So those are two bills. So when I talk about the constitutional law, as we talked about those committees earlier, those constitutional law, meaning the automatic restoration of right or codifying, when I say codifying, putting it in our code, making it a part of our Constitution, in particular in this case, those are going to go to the Privileges and Elections the Privileges and Elections Committee. So if those things are things you're interested in, it goes to Privilege and Election. When I talked about the assault ban and the certain ammunition, that's going to go probably to public safety. When I talk about the increase of minimum wage, I think that will go to Labor and Commerce. I'm not 100% sure, but all of these are determined by the Speaker of the House, which in our case, the Speaker of the House is going to be the first Black speaker that we've ever had in the history of the Commonwealth. We're talking about ground zero of oppression. And we are now having our first Black speaker, which is super historic. It is super historic. A person who was formerly incarcerated, pulled themselves up, had their trials and tribulations. Don Scott is going to be our speaker. So Don Scott, leader or speaker Scott, speaker designee Scott, will be taking these, and him and his team will be deciding where all these bills will go. And you as a certified doer, yes, you doers get more done. As a doer, you have the opportunity to have power and influence. I'm going to teach y'all how to testify. You can testify from your own home. Did you know that? Like, you could testify on a bill. You can, just like you coming in on the morning dew with me, you can know that bill is going to be seen at 8:30 in the morning. Join in while at your space and place and testify on behalf or against a bill. You can do that. Did you hear me? Because we've got to do some stuff. All right. So that has been my time, right? That has been our time. The objective today was to, one, get you guys intimate with lis.virginia.gov. I want you to start looking, because it's just now starting to populate. It's just now starting to populate with the bills that will be coming forth in 2024. So there aren't a whole bunch of bills here. But once January 10th hit, and I say this again, January 10th is the day that I go back to session. Once that gavel hits the little thing at 12 at noon on the 10th, we're at work, and you'll start seeing a lot more bills in here. I want you to find your thing. If you're having issues, do not hesitate to reach out to our office at deljglass@house.virginia.gov. I'm going to say this again, deljglass@house.virginia, Virginia spelled out, .gov. We will teach you. So be ready at the top of the year. And when y'all join me for the morning dew for certified doers just like you in January, I'm going to ask, what'd you say? Certified doers. That's what nephew said. Nephew said certified doers. Certified doers. That's right. We get more done. So I want you to have your thing. I don't give a snap if you care about plastic bags. You go on there. There's a bill for plastic bag tax. Okay. So have that ready. I'm going to teach you how to testify, how to lobby. That's what we're doing at the top of the year. We're getting ready. Okay. So I need to see y'all. I am hoping that whatever it is, whatever your preferred method of being these days. See, I'm going to go ahead and shout out my nail tech before I go. Krishan at Get Nailed. Look at that. That's a Christmas tree and some Kwanzaa stuff. On my other hand, we got what we got? A present and a menorah, right? Whatever you're doing, I got nailed. That's what it's called. Go get nailed. Yeah, whatever you decide to do, or if it's nothing at all, I hope that it is the best for you. I hope that you drink water because you are a flower. Drink water because you are a flower. All right. Hydrate, get rest, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the other side of this year. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I appreciate you gifting me with this time. I have Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 89th District, soon to be the 93rd. We are here. I will see you at the pep rally. I will see you at the pep rally on January 6th. You coming? See you at the pep rally on January 6th. All right. Take care. Bye, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you coming. See you. Have a good morning. Be well.